Area of a circle. Here are the basics. So what is area? It's really just the number of square units inside of a figure. And if we have a rectangle, and imagine each of these cut up as squares. I should have done a better job making them look like squares. But anyway, this length is 3 units. We can see 1, 2, 3, and this side is 2 units. So altogether, the area is 6 units and 6 square units. Now let's transfer that to a circle. It's still the number of squares inside, so I might do something like this, and we got entire squares here, but we have partial squares here, and when you add up a couple parts to them, it'll add up to one entire square. But we can't take the area of the square the normal way that we do with a rectangle or something with straight sides. We have to do something different. And what we use is this formula. A stands for area, is pi times the radius squared. Now pi you would know from us doing the circumference lesson, and the r is the radius, which is halfway across the circle from the center, and this little squared. I'll show you how that works in a moment. So we have our center. Okay, this is not going as I planned. The center right here, and if I have a radius of, let's say the radius is 4, well then the area would be equal to pi times 4 to the second power. Now that second to the power doesn't mean 4 times 2, it means 4 times 4, 4 times itself. So this would be pi times 16. And usually we'll write it with the number first, so 16 times pi. Now it could be just 16 pi, or you can multiply 16 times 3.14, and you get, I think it's about 50.24 if I remember correctly. So 16 times 3.14 is about 50.24. Okay. So that's the basics of the area. So we have, now if you have something like the diameter, let's say the diameter is given to you as 10. Well, if we want to calculate the area, we would use the same pi times the radius squared. But the diameter is 10. The formula calls for the radius, and the radius is the center to the edge, which is just 5. So I would use 5. Whoops, I should probably write pi first, huh? So pi times 5 squared. Oh boy, my pen's not working. Times 5 squared. So again, that doesn't mean 5 plus 5. That means this is going to be pi times 5, which is 25. Boy, my pen is not behaving well right now. It's 25, pi times 25, and we'll write that as 25 pi. And opposed to, if you're just given the radius, remember, if you're given the radius as perhaps 6, then it would be pi times 6 squared, and that's pi times 36, or just, we would call it 36 pi. All right. So that's it. Those are the basics of the area of a circle.